it's Crystal from Adventuring with Crystal. This week, I want to talk about how to enhance your travel experience through presence and mindfulness. I know sometimes when we think about presence and mindfulness, we think about yoga or we think about meditation, but that doesn't have to be what presence and mindfulness mean. It really is being there for yourself while you're traveling to enhance what you're already feeling so that you experience deeper joy, deeper connection, and you actually remember the trip better than you would if you were just rushing through without taking the time to practice mindfulness. Why would we want to do that? Well, first of all, it's going to deepen your cultural connections. When you're practicing mindfulness and presence through actions like being participatory in your tours, so not just going and looking at the places, but maybe taking a cooking class or taking a class with a local artisan where you're learning about the craft that they're doing, you are so much more involved. It also means taking time to understand the context of the culture. Where did these buildings that you are looking at the architecture for come from? What was going on in the world at the time? Taking the time to prep yourself beforehand makes that context really clear to you, and it gives you a better sense of what's going on. Being present to culture also helps you build genuine connections. When we went to Greece, we loved every one of our tour guides because we got to know them. We got to know their history, what they were doing when they weren't tour guides, how they made it to where they were. And they had the best stories and the most information. And we learned so much more by going on tours with local guides, which I always suggest because of that connection that you make with a person and with the place through that person's experiences. Another reason that you'll want to practice mindfulness is for personal growth. When you're practicing mindfulness, you are building new neural pathways, which we've talked about in other times, really helps you to be connected and to strengthen bonds with people that you're with and places that you're with. You're learning resiliency and strength because you're solving problems in a way that you wouldn't normally be able to solve them. And you're doing that on your own or with your group and not just relying on going through the rote motions of everyday life. And you also, through reflection and insight, will learn so much more. When we went to Tennessee this past summer, I had one of those little thermal printers that you can print the pictures. They're in black and white, but it's really small and easy to carry. And I brought that with me in a journal. And every night I picked out the best pictures of the day, printed them, stuck them in a journal, and wrote about them. And I still look at that now and remember things that make me so happy. And I would have forgotten about those otherwise, but I have that as a constant reminder, not just trying to flip through my phone, but something tangible and present that I reflected on to gain insight about the trip that I did. Also, when you're practicing presence and mindfulness, it's going to make you present to sustainable travel practices like supporting local and being part of conservation efforts. Many times, participatory practices or participatory tours are going to bring in this eco travel mentality where you are doing something sustainable for the culture that's there, for the environment that you're visiting, because you're taking part in something that's giving back or you're supporting local businesses. It's so important that when we travel that we're thoughtful about where our money and where our time is being spent, not just for us and our pleasure, but to make sure that we leave the place better than we found it for the people who are going to be traveling after us. Your mindful travel experience starts before you even leave. You want to do some research and learn as much as you can about the place that you're going, research itineraries and tours. And if you're working with a travel advisor, let them know that this is a goal of yours. One thing that I always ask my clients before we even start planning is, how do you want to feel when you get back? Give me one word, whether it's relaxed, energized, connected, joyful. Those are all things that are going to help me craft the perfect experience so that that person or that group of people has that experience and feels that way when they get back. Making sure that you have set your intention for your travel before you leave and think about it daily. I would put it as a lock screen on your phone. So every time you pick it up to take a picture, it might tell you, I'm here to relax. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to connect with the nature. And that will keep you present to what your intention was, to be sure that at the end, you didn't forget about it along the way. Often I get swept up in what's going on around me or this fun thing or that fun thing, and I forget what my intention was at the beginning. And then when I get to the end, I think, well, I missed some opportunities because I wasn't following my intention. So setting that and keeping present to that throughout the entire journey will make sure that your trip is what you wanted it to be. While you're on your journey, you'll want to practice digital detox. It's kind of easy if you don't let your phone get on the roaming and you stay on Wi-Fi only where there is Wi-Fi, but just be mindful of it. One thing that I used to do is post my pictures as they were happening. And it may seem counterintuitive because you think I'm posting a picture and letting people know it's happening, I'm thinking about it, but you're actually not thinking about the experience. You're thinking about the picture. Which picture should I post? What should I say about it? And that takes you out of the experience. What I do now is wait until I get back to the hotel and I'm bathed and in bed, and then I do a dump of the day where I put in the pictures that are highlights and give some stories about what we did, reflect in my journal, and then let that be good. It is not necessary for you to be posting constantly or be connected outside of where you are constantly. A digital detox will give you the opportunity to connect with the people that you're traveling with, to connect with the locals, to connect with the environment in ways that you wouldn't be able to if you're connecting through a lens. Actually touching and feeling and being present in that moment is so important to having the experience that you want to have. And finally, when you get back, definitely share, share, share. Being present and mindful means thinking about the connections that you can make from the travel that you just did. What did you learn? What insight did you have? What personal growth did you have? Who did you talk to? What new friends did you make? These are the things that people in your life are going to benefit from through you and through what you did. It is so important that we get together to share. I have this great idea of having like a tie night after I get back, almost like they used to do with slideshows. They'd invite everybody over and they had their little pictures on slides and they click through and just share some food and some ideas and some of the memories that we made while we were there that will inspire people to take their own travels. Some other things that you can do to make your trip as mindful as possible is to first plan for slow travel. Slow travel is this idea of staying in one place longer so that you can engage more with that particular place and get into the hidden gems of that place instead of just having a highlight reel. Slow travel allows you to know more people, learn more things, and impact that place with your presence more than if you were just driving through and trying to squeeze in as much as possible. You'll also want to try to seek authentic experiences. There are plenty of tour companies that are going to bring you to all the same places that everybody else is going. We did go on an Acropolis tour, and there were so many tour guides, and it was like, we'll look for this flag, we'll look for the red hat, and some people had headphones so you could hear them through their microphone, and some people just had a bullhorn, and so it's kind of a mess. There are times that you're going to have to do that, but there are also times when you can go to lesser known places or to places before or after they're open or closed, where you can get kind of a one-on-one and learn more by engaging with a different method of seeing those places. And always, you can work with me, your friendly neighborhood travel advisor to help make your mindful travel a reality. If you have a place that you're looking to go, or you don't even know, you just have a dream that you want to get out there and see things, give me a call. We can chat about what your goals are and how we can make them work.